Hey, ever feel stuck and wonder why some people achieve greatness while others remain average? Join me, Mark Jean, and Beyond Average to Great as we uncover the secrets to breaking free from mediocrity and unlock the greatness within you. Through inspiring stories and insights from people who have changed their lives, you'll learn how strong decisions and bold actions can take you to the next level. Let's go. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Beyond Average to Great, where our guest today is Stanko Mrakovic. Hope I'm saying that correctly. I have a hard time with names, especially names that are challenging to pronounce. So I'll blame that to being from Texas originally, but glad to have Stanko here. Stanko is the founder of Raven Ads, and he is also based in Serbia. So I find it fascinating and just so cool that we can have a conversation halfway around the world and have it live. So that's just fascinating to me how technology works, and I'm in the technology industry. So
Absolutely.
great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure. Definitely, connecting to what you just said, it's really amazing. You're in automations, I'm in digital space, I'm in marketing, and really, it's amazing what technology can build. Like we're seeing each other through this set of pixels, but yet we can, communicate everything the same way, like if we were,
Live
in
in
person.
person.
Yeah, absolutely. And most importantly, have valuable conversations, impact people, and lots of other things. That's cool.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself, because I know that you decided to forego college to start a business with $20 in your pocket. I got this off of LinkedIn, by the way.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and you said it was the toughest decision, but best decision you ever made. So tell us a little bit about how Raven Ads started and what was your vision behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just as you read off of LinkedIn, that is the story, that is the bio. I basically I started in the mid school or the high school. I don't know, like it's a different education system, I guess, but like let's say right after elementary, after the first 8 years. When I got into that school, I got into it because I was the smartest, or I had the highest scores, I had the best grades. I come from a very hardworking family, and my mother and her parents and my father also, and his parents are very like intellectual people, all educated, formal diplomas and everything else.
Mm,
And so both creativity, and we'll come to that later, and intellectual, the knowledge and everything, that the development of my intellect was like very um, high level, if you
yeah.
can say high
Yeah.
level, yeah. And But that really just opened my mind to explore things. I was very
Yeah.
curious from the beginning, and so this was a big fragment for me to just see the world differently and see that I don't have to go a certain path that's already made in front of me and that other people walked. I
Hmm.
can just create my own, and so that was a big one for me. And so when I was like, as I say, the best grades and all of that, like following that narrative that was set for me very early on, I got into the mid school, and then I saw that this was nothing that I wanted actually.
Hmm.
I did it for like the school was for programming and was some boring stuff. I was like, this is going to be a high paying job, so like secure your future and all of those kind of stories.
Yeah.
And then when I got into it, I was like, this is nothing, this is not for me. And so that curiosity really led to, how can I secure my life, quote unquote, and do something, be something in this world, have something of value to provide to other people. And I was like, okay, let me try a bunch of new things. So I tried, like businesses or
Yeah.
jobs to make money, like day jobs, part-time jobs, reselling stuff, like buying off of AliExpress and selling it locally. That's
Uh-huh.
that's another story that I even haven't mentioned online, but like. really
I
just to make a buck.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, on all those transactions. I'm extroverted by nature, so it was like, sales is always somewhere there around included. You got to sell
Mhm.
yourself, you got to sell your ideas. And so really, to cut the long story short, that was one business. I got into startups because of the mid-school competitions that we had, like for early young entrepreneurship and the programs. Then I won some of those. I got into leadership.
So did they teach entrepreneurship in school in
Uh,
Serbia?
they do have like a class, like a class for that.
Uh-huh.
They have one teacher for that, but that teacher is not an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they just basically teach something off of a book. But it wasn't the normal education program, like the normal, step by step like narrative that you go through within the years of the school. It was a special like competition. So
Hmm.
it is a non-government organization, so outside of like the governmental
Yeah.
thing and formal education, and was like an organization for supporting its junior achievement.
Okay.
They're like very popular in Europe. I don't know if they have it in the United States as
I
well.
think they have something like that too. But
Yeah,
what's interesting is when you're describing, going to school and realizing you do not want to follow the path that school is laying out for you.
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's so similar here. I mean, I experienced that too. It's like, man, I don't want to be, follow school says you have to do this or do this. So at least here in the US, they try to make students into good employees, it seems like,
Yeah,
as opposed to
absolutely.
teaching them entrepreneurial skills. I mean, they don't really teach you courses in just like school growing up in whether it's elementary, middle school, junior high, and high school.
Yeah,
They're not teaching you courses on money, how to manage your money, how to grow money, how to earn money. They don't teach you courses on business unless you go into college and specifically focus on that. But you're not taught any of that. You're just taught, skills like English and math and science. So I'm not
yeah.
sure why they do it that way, but for
I don't
you,
want to be. I don't want to be the.
yeah, but for people like you and for me that like, man, this is not what we want to be. We want to do something more. And there's not a lot of choices in school that teach you how to be an entrepreneur or give you those opportunities, especially in grade schools.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't want to be the conspiracy theorist, but like, I believe that the systems are made and set in place for you to not be curious, for you to not go outside of the box, and for you to not be able to rebel it, I guess,
Hmm.
and really have your own systems of
Yeah.
independence to some extent, so you can like think independently, have critical thinking. It's critical thinking is not reinforced in formal education systems,
Hmm.
and to really, to think outside the box and
Yeah.
out of the system and out of that, being just another, player in the chessboard, because that doesn't fit into the system. You're really
Hmm.
standing out. You're the black sheep, or you're
Yeah.
the different one. And I mean, it's catered that way. And those fundamental skills that you mentioned, like, financial literacy, or like, how do you manage
Hmm.
your money? How do you invest? How do you, do whatever with money? Money is a big thing. Without money, I mean, not being greedy, but like without money, you cannot survive. It's our currency. It's what we
Yeah.
made as humans. And so when you cannot control that, it controls you.
Yeah.
And anybody can control you. I mean, the higher forces, the higher layers of people. I don't want to. I mean, as I said, I don't want to be the conspiracy theories, but I believe those fundamental skills, when they are taken away from you early on, you don't even know they exist, because you're not curious enough, because you don't have
Yeah.
the freedom to explore it. And for some of us, like you and I, and some other people, there are like fewer percentage of people, something happens and it just clicks, something somewhere just like pokes that big balloon
Yeah.
of I would say lies, but like of the reality that was, forced on you.
Yeah. Or it's just like you just realize there's something more than
Yeah.
what formal education has to offer.
And it's
And
scary
that,
because nobody else believes you.
yeah.
I mean,
And
around
that
you.
reminds me too of a quote from Jim Rohn, who said, "A formal education will get you a good job, but self-education can make you wealthy," which basically that's what happens with most entrepreneurs. We seek out coaches, we seek out mentors, we go read books on things. Now there's online courses, or you can just go to YouTube or Instagram and find information about what you need on how to do things, whether it's how to
It's
build a
all within
website or
reach.
how to scale a business. So,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
more you invest time and money of your own to learn, the bigger the return on your investment that you'll get because you're investing in
Absolutely.
yourself.
Absolutely correct. Like it's all within reach. It's all there. It's all around you. You just have to learn to see it.
Hmm.
And if you're blessed to see it, you cannot unsee it.
Yeah.
You cannot just forget about it. Um, Also, like as I said, when something pokes that balloon, that it's scary to
Hmm.
explore it. Nobody around you did it, and they're disencouraging you like most of the time.
Yeah.
Or when there's somebody like, for example, my mom, which was incremental for me. She never knew what I was doing exactly, but she believed in my vision that I'm getting somewhere. So
Yeah.
getting back to my story, like, to really, wrap that up, it was the development and getting into business, really. It was about the fact that I felt like I have a purpose.
Hmm.
I, I was always passionate about basketball, about leadership. I trained for 10 years, played it semi-professionally and everything else. And so I always wanted to be more. I always wanted to dream. I always knew that there was something that you created, that you control it.
Yeah.
And it just translated into business and helping others, really developing that empathy also early on, winning those competitions, learning about leadership, learning about like solving problems and everything else, and honestly securing the financial freedom, which was my
Mhm.
goal by the end of the that mid school high school education. So those next 4 years, I was like, when this ends, the society is going to either make me fall into one of the pits and like stay there and really cap me, block me, that I cannot grow, you know have huge debts for
Mhm.
whatever I want to buy, like for my lifestyle, and easier life, and then have to work a job and just pay the bills and live paycheck to paycheck. And I saw it. I saw everything, and I
Yeah.
was super scared. And I was like, I have to build financial freedom. To build financial freedom, I need to help other people and solve some problems to get money. And there's a saying, I don't know who said it, so I'm not gonna have a make a mistake of quoting it, but like paraphrased, it says, you can get anywhere in life just if you understand that it takes you helping others get to where they want in life. And
Yeah.
that really clicked in with me. That's how
Yeah.
I get into
I know where that
business.
came from.
You know?
Zig Ziglar.
Yeah,
And I
that's
like
right.
how you paraphrased it because that's really good because he just says you can have everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. But the way
Absolutely.
you said it is great because it lets me know that you understand what he's talking about. So,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
I didn't just read it.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
what got you into marketing? So you've gone through this education, you're searching, and then you decided on marketing. That's what the area that you want to be in. And
As we said, really having everything at the palms of your fingers. Um, I was curious. I was searching, researching how to make money online. Really, it's
Mhm.
it's basic as that. And I was like, one of the guys said, okay, to make money online, to build a wealthy lifestyle, to whatever. Like I was attracted to those, like it's a very low vibrational thing, and I gotta mention that, to think about the cars and think about the houses and think about the watches and all that
Yeah.
glory, fame, and whatever not. But it's the first thing that gets your attention, and then
Mhm.
when you go deeper into the the business world and everything, it becomes everything but that. It becomes more of helping people and
Yeah.
philanthropy and all of that and solving problems. But that got me into like, hooked me into the video. And the video said, you have to buy assets. You have to buy real estate properties. You have to buy watches. You have to invest in crypto and stock into, all of those things. And I was
Mhm.
like, okay, that makes sense. But like, how do I start? Like, I have zero money. And the guy said, you have to build cash flow. So there's got to be cash coming into your pockets on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, consistently and in increasing amounts, so you can dedicate a part of it to
Mhm.
invest in those assets.
Mhm.
And the more assets that you own, that, there's fluctuations, of course, in the market, but that just go in price in time if you manage them correctly,
Yeah.
because we know that, assets appreciate in value and liabilities depreciate in value
Mhm.
over time. And so if you can have that, you can build wealthy. But then you have to have cash flow. So how do you build cash flow? Business. How do you build a business when you don't have any skill sets? You build a skill,
Yeah.
something that's called high income skill. And really through that research, through just like boiling it down to the first principles, it was me between this lifestyle that I want to have and a bunch of like roadblocks or checkpoints. And the
Mhm.
first one that was in front of me, like reverse engineering it, it was building a better me. It was
Mhm.
building a better skill set.
Yeah.
And I found marketing, and as I said at the beginning of the interview, the podcast, is and not to brag, I had the high level education from I had a great
Mhm.
parenting, yes, and I had like a great environment for developing intellectual, skill sets and abilities, and also like the creative side, which
Mhm.
combine it. It is the principles of marketing, like how to be creative and how to really have the analytics to know if whether that's working and whether that's impacting the business. And so I really just it clicked. I found myself in it. That was supporting also my basketball career, to buy equipment, to buy shoes, to buy
Uh-huh.
better food, because growing up in a small town in Serbia, with four siblings, it was tough for my parents, and they were the ones living paycheck to paycheck. So I knew that if financially I cannot rely on them. So
Yeah.
after the school, I don't want to go to college. That's also one of the reasons that I wanted to be financially free, because there was nobody to support me. I either live at my parents' house and they bug me every day to find a job,
Uh-huh.
uh, or they would be like, you got to seek higher education. And I was like, I don't want
Mhm.
none of that. I want to live in a bigger city, in Belgrade, in the capital. I want to live with my girlfriend. I want to, just
Yeah.
go somewhere in life. And so getting back to the marketing point, um, it clicked. Extroverted part of me and my personality was also like communication, sales,
Mhm.
marketing. It really goes hand in hand. And I started with that. And freelancing, I actually started with designing because I was good with drawing, that creative
Uh-huh.
side. I started designing logos and all of that. That didn't really quite work out. Then I started with copywriting, and that was a big thing for me. I never got like I always had the highest grades, like perfect grades for writing the essays, and you
Mhm.
know we learned Serbian, of course, but like you guys have like English as like
Mhm.
your mother language, and for that you have those essays and those big like
Yeah.
story. They give you a topic and you write it. Like I was always perfect for that. I was known for it in my environments.
Yeah.
And so that translated, when I think about it, like in the back of my mind, that created the first baby steps towards copywriting. And then the copywriting turned into I need other things, other tools, other people to help me on my road helping other people.
Yeah.
And then I formed a team. And then a little team got into a little bigger team, and we're still, of course, growing and developing.
Yeah. I was impressed. One, how we connected. You just sent me an email out of the blue, just saying, "Hey," because one of the things that you mentioned on your website or on LinkedIn is that you work with coaches, entrepreneurs, and consultants to help them grow their business, especially, I guess as a coach and as a Grant Cardone 10X business coach, you would kind of came in contact with that community and then reached out. And so, what the first few emails that you sent me, one, just, for everybody listening, the skill of follow up is so critical in business because you sent me emails, I kind of ignored them. Then you sent me an email with a photo of you next to your screen with a picture of my website that was pretty lame at the time, saying, "Hey, I can help you, you know, really make your website pop to help you attract more clients, more coaching clients." So
Yeah.
that got my attention, and that's when I reached out to you. So,
Yeah, it was
um,
also, yeah, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry.
so those skills, how did you learn the skill of like follow up, being consistent in that? Because consistency is rewarded, as I heard a friend of mine say one time. So being
Y-
consistent, you got rewarded with me, and then I became a client of yours. So,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
how
And
did you
here
learn
we
that
are
skill?
today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing is, and I know you know those statistics as well, and maybe our viewers and listeners as well, but like their statistics primarily coming from the US markets, um, from maybe even a decade ago, but like
Mm.
they are kind of old. Maybe that changed a little, but like contact to contact in sales, coming off of the first contact, second contact, third contact, the deeper you go, the statistic says the more contacts you make with your prospect before they become a client, the higher the inclination for the purchase
Yeah,
it is in a client. So that stood out to me. Now that's complex. Like those coaches that say that, for example, Grant Cardone, I know he is talking about it quite often. Those statistics, like for example, that most of the sales are made between fifth and 12th contact.
yes,
And but you really cannot go, you either pick horizontalness, if I can say, like, you go
yeah,
broad with many people, or you go really vertical and really deep with a fewer people, because
yeah,
you only have so much time when you're doing it alone, when you're reaching out to people, etc. And then really with systems, it becomes burdening to communicate too much.
yeah,
But it was one of the postulates that, the one of the things was that statistics, like you got to do more, you got to do
mm,
more than others. And you're not the first one that that mentioned that. I got other prospects say, like, when I asked them what motivated you to book in this call with me, is like, you're so freaking persistent. Like,
yeah,
it's really easy for me when you contact me once, like I can shake you off. It's like I don't respond, and you lose interest. But when you and it's also about sales. If I see that you have a problem and I know deep down that I can help you solve it, it is kind of my moral obligation to really help you solve the problem. Because
yeah,
sales, when you boil it down, it's just assistance in making decisions.
yes,
Sales is not like me trying to sell you or trick you, like, I closed you as you're a prospect, I closed you, like effed you over or whatever.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, if I really believe with on my truest honesty that I can help you solve a problem, and I know that, it is my moral obligation to help you make that decision and assist you in the process.
See,
Because
that's
we're right.
yeah, and that's really important because I think a lot of people don't understand sales, especially entrepreneurs or people that get into business, how important it is to be able to, one, have 100% commitment to your services and products that you have, knowing that they can solve the problem for someone. So that's a great point that you brought up, and that belief that you have that you can help, because in our interaction, in our conversations, it's really what led me to go, okay, I'm going to commit to working with you, which my commitment was writing that check. Um,
Yeah.
but I tell you that the process of working with you was a great experience just from the
Thank you.
way we talked about what my goals are, what I want to accomplish, what the outcome of this is to be with the completion of the website. And I think you did a great job of like getting to know me, who I am, what I want to do as a business coach to help people and basically design the website around that. So I
Yeah.
was real
Thank you.
impressed. The whole
Thank you. Thank you.
experience is great.
Yeah. I really sorry. Did this cut off?
That's okay.
Yeah, cool. I had just had a call. Let me put this on do not disturb.
Okay.
Okay. And get back into it. So sorry for that. So one of the things is that I wanted to mention is also you don't assist the client and serve them as if they were a client before they become one. You also give your absolute freaking best to serve their interest when they become a client, so
Mhm.
they can refer you, so they can, get impressed and talk about your business and how you help them. And really a really important foundation for me building your website and working on that project is really getting a deep understanding of yourself and your business,
Mhm.
even to the point of pushing you to get to know it better and
Yeah.
define it better.
I mean,
Even the things that were unclear in your own business, and that happens all the time, is like people are stuck and maybe even not as confident, not mentioning, your situation. Of course, you are confident, but like other people that I see like are not even confident to go out and sell it. And that connects to like the belief that you can help your prospects because you haven't done that small and at first glance unimportant part,
mhm.
but also heavy. It's research. It's like going deep in yourself. And my systems, the way that I create them in the onboarding and everything, is really to make this process as a busy business owner, making them easier for you,
Yeah.
and
And
to go in
and
depth.
that questionnaire, man, as hard as it was for me, because those are things that I don't stop and think about. And
Yeah.
I mean, I literally, I think I mentioned, I had to basically just drive up to the top of Mulholland, which is this road here in Los Angeles, that one side you look over all these huge, enormous homes in Beverly Hills. The other side of Mulholland, you can look out and see the whole entire San Fernando Valley. And sometimes I do that for inspiration. I'll go up there just to drive and just to think. And so I had to get away with your questionnaire to think it's like, man, what do I want? The some of the questions made me think about, who do I want to serve? Who's my ideal client? All of these things that I needed to really answer. So I was crystal clear on it because if I'm not clear on it, how can I help the clients that I'm wanting to
Yes.
attract and serve? So
Absolutely.
I thought it was a
Ab-
great questionnaire and and important to take the time to go through it and complete it.
And it is a little heavier on the client. It is a little, slower. It's burdening the process, making it a little bit more, heavy to go through.
Yeah.
But once you go through it, a bunch of other things around it as a foundation, bunch of things around it really get easier. When that clarity kicks in, when it clicks in with you, and plus you get that confidence that we talked about,
Yeah.
um, to really go out and sell it. And just like you first got to sell it to yourself, and you
Yeah.
cannot sell it to yourself with a lack of information. And for making decisions, information is key.
Hmm.
And I say that all the time. Like for example, even when you take an example of crypto, let's say.
Yeah.
If you knew the Bitcoin in back in 2010 or whatever was gonna get to where it is today, you would like how much money would you put into it and make a decision to go all in? Like you would sell the house, the whatever you have,
Yeah.
like all the boats to really, you know, survive to and get a return. And that is what fuels decisions. It's information and your decision to where to go. What's my road with my business? To where do I like really, turn to is a decision. It's an important decision. And you cannot feel through it and understand it and understand yourself if you don't go deep, if you don't get dedicate the time to research, to find information and really explore your ideas,
Yeah.
stress the creative muscle of like, hey, where do I want to be? What do I want to sell? How exactly? To who? What's their problem? What are their, desired outcomes, goals, dreams, hopes, you know, and really, really, helping people bridge the gap in between where they are and where they want to go. And when you build then, well, let's say we talk about something like a website, which is an underrated and overlooked thing, but like that is a foundation, your ID on the internet. What going off of that as a foundation, you can build things up. But if you don't have how do you call this? I know in Serbian, but how do you call this the thing that goes beneath the ground, below the house?
The basement.
Not a basement, like not a room, but like
Oh, the
the
foundation where you,
well, yeah, maybe it's a foundation, maybe it's as simple as that. But the concrete, like in the metal,
yeah, yeah.
iron,
So that's the
yeah,
foundation that you build
it's a
everything upon.
foundation. Yeah, absolutely. The foundation is not a website. The foundation is understanding yourself, your
Mhm.
environment, the environment of your prospects, your prospect, the full business. Even if you have been doing it for quite a long time and you're really fucking good at it, you can still get a little more clarity that
Yeah,
can click in and then you can scale up.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the foundation. Then it goes the website, then it goes the social media presence, then it goes into advertising and really, mass marketing. Yeah.
So, who is your ideal client as for Raven ads that you want to help and you want to serve? So, who's your ideal client?
The way that I approach it is, first of all, I'm serving people that are in the services space, whether it's online, like coaching, consulting, anything in the high ticket realm, which is like if you're selling something that's over 1,000, 2,000 bucks, and you really need to get into a contact with the prospect before they make a decision and move forward with you, which is important for me because I serve on the marketing side and lead generation, and my clients take the calls, take the appointments with qualified prospects, and then sell them into their offers and really qualify them even further. But it's the way that I approach it with these people on the both the online side, as I said, coaching, consulting,
Hmm.
high ticket online services, maybe education as well, courses, etc.
Hmm.
Or the local side of businesses, like for example, you're doing home automation,
Yeah.
or that can be really any kind of a service that you pay that solves a big problem for the people in your that is really a need, and that you get paid, quote unquote, a lot of money for it,
Hmm.
for solving the problem. So it's valuable to them and they're willing to pay a high price for it. And that means a lot. That means higher capital per or higher income per paying client, which means I don't have to really, pump your business with tens of thousands of leads that are, half baked, potentially qualified or something, just like optimize for volume. I can optimize for quality, give you fewer people, again, a lot depending on your budget, but like a fewer people, but qualified, and then you can close easier because when they come on a call with you, they are already pre-qualified, nurtured, they are all already inclined to make a purchase, so willing and able to invest with you. And then when that happens, you don't really need too much to scale. So that's where I focus. That is the market. When it comes to the what my clients can pay and what kind of a service I provide to them, is I have a bit wider range of services from
Hmm.
website development to social media, organic content, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, to all the way to partnerships where I go in and advertise for people
Hmm.
Everything is completely done for you, and some solutions are more important for one group of people, and other solutions are catered and personalized to a different group of people. Mostly that's based on what's your level in business, where you're at, like, how much are you making, what's the next thing. It's not a cookie cutter approach, like everything works
Yeah.
for everyone. One size fits all. It's like I really go into consultations with my clients, with potential clients, and then realize where they are, where they want to go, and then I figure out, what's going to be the solution for them.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, how important is marketing for businesses? Because I know a lot of times I didn't view, oh, we got to spend money on marketing. I didn't view that. I thought all I got to do is just make more phone calls. So, how does marketing, spending money on marketing help you as a business owner, and how can that lead to sales or help you in sales?
To some extent, that's a great question. To some extent, making phone calls, to prospects is some sort of a marketing.
Yeah.
But if you mean like in the digital space and using all these tools that are in within reach for business owners, it's really, people think that relying on referrals and just a great service or a great product is enough by itself. Well, in today's competitive market, with a bunch of people joining this space with skepticism that's ever present in
Hmm.
all markets, and a bunch of people joining a bunch of industries really unqualified, and you're sitting there qualified and know how to solve a problem, but nobody knows about you. That's why it is important. So you cannot
Yeah.
really just rely on, referrals and the sales that come organically. For example, if you want to talk about a local business, maybe you have a location, whether it's a headquarters or you have like an actual, people can see you off the street. Yes, people pass by your store or your office all the time, but like, what's the amount of traffic, amount of qualified traffic that
Hmm.
are people that you really solve a problem for? And then third, is like, what's your conversion rate on those people? And what digital space is allowing us as business owners, especially, I mean, not especially, but especially for people having a tough time understanding why do they need it in the first place, such as yourself from some time ago, is like, you really need to figure out, when it comes to traffic, where are your clients, potential clients, ideal ones are congregating. So are they congregating and really getting in groups in front of your store or the square or the streets or wherever, and then you're just positioned here in the concrete and attracting just whoever passes you by,
Yeah.
or potentially you have this big platform with millions of people, which everyone today is using, almost everyone, but like the majority of the world, and highly likely 99% of your prospects. Shouldn't you go there
Hmm.
and really have your hands are not tied? That's what I see as opportunity, and it's the easiest way to explain it. It's like, your potential clients are using social media, your potential clients are on Google searching for the solutions that you provide. If they're not searching for the solutions on Google, they are on Instagram, they are on Facebook, they are on
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
They're on these social platforms for fun, for consuming whatever content, for boredom scrolling. But if you find them, if you pop up, if you get their attention, you might as well pull them into your funnel and help them solve a problem.
So marketing helps you get attention, so it makes it easier for sales. And then it also helps establish you as the expert in your field. So when you're letting people know who you are, what you do, so you can get in front of your potential clients.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely, absolutely. It's one, like I mentioned, the first opportunity in digital space is because you can reach your prospects.
Yeah.
There are other problems connected to that opportunity. In the opportunity, there are problems, but like the first principle is like, you can reach people.
Hmm.
And then it comes like, how do you specifically reach them? How do you communicate with them? How do you get their attention?
Yeah.
Um, what kind of content or messaging should you be putting on and putting in front of them? That's another problem. Yeah. But
Okay.
but as you say, that's really big. That's really big on that. You got to show up in front of people. People got to see you today. Yeah. Now, how I say it is attention is the currency of the internet. That's number one.
Okay.
That leads to that. Yeah.
So what's one thing that you would say to a coach or business owner that's looking to build a website or get a website? What would be, that's important for them to be able to have a presence online?
When it comes to presence online, it's not just the website that plays a big role. It's also the social media channels where you really, put out content and get traffic. The website is crucial and it has a lot of potential if you use it correctly. If you
Yeah.
don't just use it as a, pamphlet or the flyer or whatever, use it as an idea, of course, people can read more, et cetera, et cetera. But if you cater it as a funnel, as a, process, a system that helps you. It's an employee to
Yeah.
some extent that doesn't call in sick, that never takes time off or goes to vacation, and it
Ah,
serves you 24/7. Your website is basically there like a salesperson, of course, depends on what traffic do you give it to, but like it is there and it's helping your prospects understand you and your business and lead them to a right place, lead them to the door, to the table.
yeah.
Uh, that's
Yeah.
the equivalent of it. And so the door, the table, the checkout, whatever you decide, what depends on what you want to do next in the process itself. It's like whether you want to book a call, whether you want to give something for free, make people opt in, give you their contact information. All of those actions, when the funnel is doing a good jobs, all of those actions are obvious to the prospect and what they need to do to get further down the line. So
Okay.
that's number one. That's number one. When it comes to further advice, if you want me to share, social media wise and branding wise to stand out, that goes into these foundations that we talked about earlier.
Hmm.
And when it comes to brand, um, people think that brand is about colors or it's
Hmm.
about a logo, and that's as far away as you can get from the truth.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not the opposite, but it's a total different direction. It's building value
Hmm.
constantly because value is the antidote to skepticism. That's number one. Skepticism is ever present due to a lot of other businesses providing similar service or communicating they're going to solve a similar problem. And there's more and more and more and more people in the online space and the offline space in general providing a similar service, and it's getting more competitive as you go. But you really have to start building a brand early on, or maybe you maybe spent like 10 years in your career, but like it's never easy when once you get it conscious. You got to communicate the value, educate the people. When it comes to the service space, you got to give the information for free and sell the implementation. So for
Hmm.
example, for you, like in home renovations, you could tell your prospect everything they need to know. Why do they need it? How do they do it? What's the difference between this and that? And give them education, which in that free giving of the information, they consume you and consume your intellectual property, your knowledge. And consumption precedes conversion. So
So
people
it's a
gotta.
way. So it's a way to build trust.
It's a way to build trust
Okay.
because one other thing is like apart from getting attention, and we're going to get to like maybe a little advice on how do you get attention, but like when it comes to building value, Um, Sharing that information is key because you position yourself as an expert in
Hmm.
the mind of the prospect. You when they want to go to somebody to help them solve their problem, they're going to go to you because you've already kind of connected with them.
Yeah.
Second of all, you build goodwill,
Hmm.
and they are like, you know, I'm getting a bunch of this stuff for free, and you're overwhelming them with value. They got to do something. They got to get in contact with you. They want to know you. They want to speak to you. They want
Yeah.
to tell you about their problems. Really, as it's the same scenario. If you go to a doctor, you go and say, "Hey, it hurts here. Like, how do I do it? Help me." Like, I know you're an expert. They already know you're
Hmm.
expert. They want to talk to you. And then you ask them the right questions, and then you prescribe the solution, of course. That's why
Yeah.
you got to sell to the doctor. And the third thing is, most of the time in the online space, having these first two principles in line, people start asking, themselves a question, of like in the back of the mind, subconsciously, like if this guy or this girl or this business is giving this amount of value for free, damn, what do I get in the paid thing?
Yeah.
What can get solved? Like I can live free without this problem if I just get into contact with them. And it makes the sale so much easier. You don't have to over explain yourself. You don't have to waste like hours talking about it. You just
Yeah.
gotta ask questions, qualify the prospect, and let them know what the next steps are and help them make that decision.
Yeah.
So that's big. That's big. That's why another thing off of value is to build a brand
Hmm.
is differentiating yourself in a way that's different from
Yeah.
all the other people who are providing a similar solution that your clients invested with and that didn't get the problem solved.
Yeah.
Is people brain recognizes patterns to so far that, I mean, psychology says this, I'm not making it up, so far that when they see, like, for example, marketing agency, or
Hmm.
I don't know about your space in home automations, but like I'm just using examples. Like I'll tell my problem is like when people hear marketing agency, what they subconsciously hear is like expenses, uh, getting burnt,
Hmm.
getting lied to, is like it's this present thing, maybe like a public secret
Yeah.
that there's this skepticism. Like, are you actually going to help me? Are you actually, like, what can you guarantee? Is like people are skeptical,
I
and
was that way.
yeah, absolutely. And so that confirms it. It's like skepticism. The antidote to skepticism is showing up and providing more information on like how to, like, solving even information is solving your prospect's problem, if as if they were a client before they become one, and that
Yeah.
builds that goodwill. So that's value. We mentioned differentiation, just communicating differently, not
Hmm.
like how people get inspired usually is like they look what the guy down the street does. They look, pricing wise, like they look at the prices and they set the similar prices. They look what their logo looks like and they do it, just tweak it. They look what they're doing on social media. It's like everybody is copying everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing a similar thing. You gotta use that, squeeze that creativity muscle, and just be different. Communicate
Hmm.
it even to a point of viscerality, or like, it's a hard word, but like you gotta be um you gotta go direct most of the time.
Yeah.
Not all go with the cute colors and, or or powerful colors that
Yeah.
communicate, trust and everything. That doesn't work. It's like go and communicate directly your value, your proof, who you've helped, how you helped them, and lay it all out there. And
Yeah.
that's what people are going to trust. That's going to raise the questions that we talked about. That's what's going to make them get in contact with you. And then plainly let them know how can they reach you. It's like click here, book this call, get this thing, make it easy for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's big.
good.
One other thing that I would add is the you can search this up. It's differentiation. It's proved. There's a research and there's a effect called von Restorff effect. And that research proves that the human brain is stimulated by different. And that's why I use, and that's why I tell to my clients, is like sometimes, most of the times, different is better than better.
Hmm.
So I'm not doing business better than this agency. You're not doing business better than this other guy, next door. You're your own league and you're doing differently. Everything that everybody else is doing, quote unquote, and for real, maybe, it's like it's wrong. You don't have to specify who, but like the market is approaching this topic totally opposite of the way it should. Here's
Yeah.
how to do it. Our unique mechanism, our unique hero mechanism, the way we do business, etc., the way you approach solving a problem is different. It doesn't have to be really too different than
Hmm.
maybe your friend or your competitor that you know really well. So you don't got to put shadows on other people, of course, but like you just communicate it differently
Yeah.
towards the mind of the prospect. And off of that group, what stands out, what is different, like a red thing with a bunch of whites is gonna get attention, and
Yeah.
they're gonna know more, and they're
And
gonna be curious to explore it.
yeah, and I mean, that's something that I learned because I had a potential client ask me, why should I hire your company or you over this other company? And I had to answer that question, and that was, I had to really think about it. That was one of those questions where I felt like I answered it okay, but I didn't really, say why we're unique over this other company, and to let them know that, hey, this is what I bring, the reliability, the trust, the integrity, the accountability that we
The
say we,
values, all
yeah.
of the values
And
of
and
yours,
so
yeah.
go through all of those things, and that we bring that's different from somebody else. So, well,
Yeah.
man, I appreciate this has been great just to kind of get to know your take on marketing, how you are passionate about this. I can see for sure that you love this, that you really spend a lot of time understanding it, that you understand people, so you understand what moves us as people. So that's been fascinating.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
appreciate it. So
Thank you.
how can people get in contact with you if they want to learn more about Raven
Yeah.
ads and how you can help them?
Yeah, absolutely. We have it on our website, ravenads.co without M. There's a small landing page or a website if you want, where it's just as simple as they click on a button, get in contact with us by booking in a free consultation.
Hmm.
Um, as I say, I gotta mention that the consultation is free. It's not a sales call, as others may do it in my industry. The way that's different and connecting to what we just talked about, it's we actually go in and have a conversation about your business. It's an opportunity for you or guys that are listening this or watching, they can really have a zoom out over your business, not be in your business, not be caught up in the processes, but really look at it from a third perspective and be like, okay, these are the problems. This is what I'm facing. This is how we can potentially solve it. And then I'm going to be the one, really giving you hard proof and data and, processes, potential strategies on how you can solve it. And then, of course, if we are fit to work with each other, if I can help you with my services, I'm gonna politely let you know. I'm gonna not gonna push you into the sale, but like if I really do believe I can help you. If not, my goal is to make it valuable for you, and then of course maybe connect you with somebody else that might help you solve a problem. Maybe just give you advice, and you go implement it yourself. You can just swipe it away and take the value and do it yourself. And I would be happy if you did so, because that's how we build relationships and good great contacts as well. Yeah. So that's it.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
man, I still find it fascinating that you're in Serbia, 9 hours ahead of me in Los Angeles, and we're just
Yeah,
having this conversation in real time. So technology is
absolutely.
amazing.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing, and I appreciate it. And we gotta use it correctly. Definitely.
Yeah.
There's opportunities, and there's like pitfalls in it. but like definitely appreciating it and being grateful is also a big thing. I am very grateful. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for this conversation and the opportunity. I would love to do more of this. Absolutely.
Well, great. Well, thank you again for being on the podcast, and look forward to talking more.
Absolutely.
Hey, thank you for joining us today on Beyond Average to Great. If you enjoyed this episode, the best way to show your appreciation is by subscribing to our show and sharing it on your social media channels. Don't forget to tag me when you do. We'll see you on the next episode. Until then, remember, be great.